at the Knoxville Zoo, where an elephant crushed one of its handlers to death. Matt Gutman has much more in the story.
Officials at the Knoxville Zoo now believe elephant handler Stephanie James's death was a tragic accident.
The elephants acted as they should in that situation. In other words, when they received a command, they responded. She responded in this case.
The 8,000-pound elephant backed James into a stall Friday, crushing her. Edie was apparently not acting aggressively and followed the desperate commands of another handler to move back. But it was too late for the 33-year-old James, found crumpled against a stall and rushed to a hospital where she died.
Edie, the African elephant involved in the incident, will not be punished or disciplined.
Still, the zoo's 3 elephants are now being kept away from direct human contact. James's father said his daughter loved animals, but was always careful.
She was so concerned with safety. That was her first priority, was safety.
He said they spoke about the risks of her job just after Christmas. And as easy as trainers make this look, these are still wild animals. Another elephant attacked a handler at the Toledo Zoo, charging repeatedly. And in 2007, Jeff Corwin was attacked by an elephant he was handling, caught by CNN cameras. There have been nearly 20 attacks by wild animals at parks over the past decade. Just this weekend, a pair of crazed chimps bit off the fingers of a zookeeper in Nebraska. Tragedy has struck even the most expert animal handlers, like Don Branchew, dragged underwater and drowned by the killer whale Tilikum at SeaWorld as hundreds watched. Like Branchew, Stephanie James died doing exactly what family members said she loved most, working with wild animals. For Good Morning America, Matt Gutman, ABC News.
And joining us now is the Director Emeritus of the Columbus Zoo, our good friend Jack Hanna. And of course, we're thinking of that young woman's family. And you worked there. That was your first zoo where you worked.
In 1961, yep.
What do you think could have happened, Jack?
Well, real quickly, just 20 seconds. When you mentioned Stephanie's name, you heard what her father said. She loved dying what she's doing. When you look at my good conservation, Steve Irwin, his wife, he died doing, loved what she did. I talked to Don's mother, who lost her life at SeaWorld, died what she loved doing. And I can tell you now, on record, that if something would ever happen to me, that, as you know me for years, I have died doing what I love doing, that's saving the animals and bringing the animals to the animal world through the zoological park and my shows in the wild.
I know that's very important to you to say that, and I know that you truly believe that, and those other family members. Right. And it's those of us who don't work in that environment.
Exactly, wouldn't know that.
Right. No, we see that, and we go like, oh my goodness. And she knew the risk.
Right.
But what possibly could have happened? Well, do you think?
I think this was an accident. If this was an attack, I can tell you, I've seen elephants in the wild go through the brush and the bush, and it's like a bulldozer, or through a village, which means that's their natural thing because they eat 200 or 300 pounds a day. The elephant, if you've read my book, it's one of the most fascinating animals in the world, one of my favorite animals.
So smart.
But when something's 9,000 pounds, up to 4 tons, we have them at our zoo, and an animal will turn like this, it pushes you against the wall or whatever inside of night quarters, you don't have a chance. Yeah. I mean, it's just that powerful an animal. If this were an attack, I'm sure it'll come out with OSHA or the police today. They're at the Knoxville Zoo studying this. But on this one, I'm sure it was an accident.
And as we heard in Matt's piece, well, Edie, the elephant will not be punished or disciplined or anything like that. Is there anything that will happen? No,
I can't. It's almost, and this maybe a crazy analogy, a 2-year-old might find a pistol and shoot it and someone's harmed or killed. Now, you can't do anything to this elephant. This elephant should be an elephant. You have, in our zoos, you have contact with elephants, or free contact, and then no contact. The Knoxville Zoo's gone to no contact right now. We still have free contact at our zoo. And like, if I was to sit here and tell you there wouldn't be an accident or a death tomorrow in a zoo, I'd be lying to you. That's our type of business. It's like an astronaut or a NASCAR driver. This is what we do because we want to bring the animal world to, like this year, 144 million people, and the elephant is an icon animal. They're an animal that people can relate to. In 1978, when I went to Columbus, there were 1.4 million African elephants. Today, there are less than 400,000. The black rhino, the second largest land mammal in the world, there were 60,000. Today, there's less than 2,400. We just can't sit back in the zoological world and not expose people to what I call love of these animals.
Your passion as a parent, I can see it in your eyes, and you know, when you're here in that and when I've seen you out. But you know that there are some people who feel, especially with an elephant, animal like an elephant, so smart, so big, so strong, so social, that should they be in that kind of setting?
It's a good question. When I just got back from Africa in the fall, filming elephants in the wild, I've done it since 1977. They're magnificent out there, but they are out there. They're being poached, and there are certain problems. We sent several millions of dollars last year to the wild, last couple of years to the wild for the elephants. Right now in the zoos, we may have had our problems. There's no doubt about that. I can show you footage of using the anchor hook and doing other things years ago. We're taking elephants from zoos that cannot handle them now and putting them like in LA, $41 million habitat for elephants. Dallas, $39 million. Baltimore, all the zoos now, Cleveland, all the zoos now are building these magnificent habitats that the animals are enriched every day to where now they can learn how to go to find food in different places where it's not just a small area where they're contained to. And that's what we're trying to do, is lessen those zoos that have them and make them really good where we're going.
I had the pleasure of being at Zoo Atlanta this past week and spending time with a panda, and you're right, the love and devotion that zookeepers have is so admirable. Thank you, Jack.
Thank you very much.